Did Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre call elections 7 months early because he is desperate? Or because he is controlling the political narrative in a way that the opposition failed to understand and adapt to for 4 long years? The opposition United Workers' Party is asking the question, but not in a way that makes strategic or tactical sense.
Ask yourself, why a government won 15-2 or 13-4, as they want to put it, call election almost a year before?
In the Westminster system of parliamentary democracy, prime ministers have what is called a royal prerogative to call elections at just about any time in order to resolve political instability or to capitalize on favorable conditions. All St. Lucian prime ministers have had this privilege, but in the 21st century, all have squandered this power and lost their first re-election until now. Philip J. Pierre spent the last 4 years preparing the social, economic, and political ground for his victory. He lured the opposition into endorsing inferior candidates. He allowed them to waste their resources on fruitless court battles, and he picked the time and place for his final battle. Now that Pierre has almost completed his real-life political practice of the art of war, the United Workers' Party is aiming to persuade voters that Pierre only called elections because his government has failed and things are only getting worse.
They suspect that before it gets to that point of desperation, they may try to pull some wool over the eyes of the people and try to win this election.
Joseph's tactic is openly at odds with conventional political wisdom in the Westminster system, raising questions about who is actually trying to pull the wool over the people's eyes. But the deputy leader of the UWP did not stop there. He went further, suggesting that the UWP is more prepared for elections than Labour because the ruling party does not even have a full slate of candidates.
It is evident that the UWP was better prepared for an election than the St. Lucia Labour Party. We had our 17 candidates. As up of today, Labour Party still does not have 17 candidates.
The United Workers' Party under Guy Joseph and Alan Chasney has tried to persuade voters to not believe that the country has experienced consistent growth, declining crime rates, and the expansion of universal healthcare under the Pierre administration. Now that the moment of truth is upon them, they are aiming to somehow persuade voters that the one prime minister who chose the most favorable conditions to win his re-election is failing and are desperate to save his party from losing more support, even while the opposition itself is the party that is publicly disintegrating.
It is evident to me that the future looks bleak under this St. Lucia Labour Party, and things can only get worse.
Will the electorate believe Pierre's government is desperate to cover up for their failures? Or will they prove that Pierre's prediction of a resounding victory for Labour is based on a growing mountain of evidence that the UWP has yet to acknowledge? With only 10 days to go, the final countdown to the downward spiral of one of these parties begins today. For Choice News Now, I'm Jason Seafley.